What's up, guys? Stop here, bringing you another audio commentary for WCReplays.com. This audio is copyrighted by WC Replays, so don't go stealing it. First things first, apologies for the last audio quality, and maybe in advance for this one. I think I fixed the volume issue, but I still haven't been able to get rid of the background noise. I don't think it's as bad in this one anyway. I'm working on it. It might be my mic, but I currently don't have internet, so it's really hard for me to check up on that. I'm just going to make uploading this audio hard, by the way, so you might get a little late, and apologies for that as well. But anyways, enough talk. Get game 1 opened up. 1 minute mark, 1x speed on the Orcs point of view. It's a game between mTw.Eric and nGize.Check. And a little preface to this game, I believe AI, which is game 1, is the starting map. I haven't, it's been a while since I've checked the series, so pretty sure this is the starting map. And this whole audio is just going to be about innovation versus Night Elf. And I'm going to spoil the surprise. Eric ends up winning this series, I believe, 2-0. I'm showing both games that he wins, assuming it's 2-0. And I think Check is actually the better player. And I think, if you were to name the top Night Elves, Check might come up, might not. But if you name the top Orcs, Eric probably wouldn't come up. He's been playing great recently, but he just isn't. He wouldn't crack my top 5 list of Orcs anyway. Whereas Check probably would crack my top 5 list of Elves. Possibly. I have to think about that. But anyway, I think Check is the better player and the more accomplished player. And yet Eric manages to win, and that the reason for his victory really flat out is just his innovation and the fact that he can surprise Check with different timings and different strategies. So, without further ado, get game 1 unpaused in 3, 2, 1, unpause. The great thing about this strategy, the one he uses in this game, is it's very hidden in that a lot of strategies, like if you go Farseer first, it's only a matter of time before the elf sees that you've gone Farseer, and the sooner they see that you've gone Farseer, the sooner they know that you're probably going to tower rush or do something strange, be very aggressive. Because Farseer doesn't hold up in the late game the same way the Blade Master does. And it's a lot easier to harass the Farseer than it is to harass the Blade Master. And it's a lot harder to creep up your second hero with a Farseer than it is to creep up the Blade Master. They might also scout a no racks build, a late racks build, a no second burrow build, an early lounge build. All of these things alert the elf that you're doing something other than what is standard. So you're going to see when Check's Scout Wisp, which is Arctic the Tavern, when it comes in, he's going to see standard. He's going to see 2 burrows, barracks, and an altar. And he's even going to see the Blade Master. And even if he doesn't see the Blade Master, every elf in the world is assuming Blade Master in this matchup now. Yeah, he sees the Blade Master. So right there, he already knows, or he can assume safely, that Eric's going with a standard build and a standard game. First thing you're going to notice, he heads straight to the Goblin Merchant, sells his port, grabs the circlet in the dust, and heads to harass Check's base. This is unusual because it's very hard on maps like this, on maps like Tyrannistan, to prevent the elf from getting that AOW creep in. And you'll see it really surprises. I think it takes a Check by surprise that the Blade Master's there so early. In my opinion, he should have killed that troll instead of letting the Demon Hunter get it, and he had plenty of time to do it. He didn't even get the Archer kill, which is why he's probably making that smiley face right there. But anyways, he's right to come in and harass, and because unfortunately Check got a circlet, but because the Blade Master has a circlet, he can really stand up with this grunt to the 1 Archer and the 1 Demon Hunter, which is what's standard build right now for elves who are Ancient of War creeping. And he's also, if you're noticing, he hasn't been able to prevent Check from teching, but he's going to cancel quite a few Moonwells, and he's going to use up a lot of Check's Moon Juice, both of which are really effective alternatives to creeping yourself, given this open base build. And obviously Check was going to seal his base, so if Eric had prepped for level 2 and then come in, it would have been too late because the base would have been sealed off, and the wisps would have been safe. I love saying wisps on an audio. I always mess that up. Anyways, you see, even though he's been able to take the Blade Master down in health a lot, the Grunts still have full health, and the Demon Hunter doesn't, so the Demon Hunter can't stand up to both these Grunts attacking it and the Blade Master. And he's forced quite a few burrow cancellations, which is really, it's not only costing Check wood to cancel the burrows, but also the Wisp that is building the burrows isn't mining wood for him. So he ends up with a lot less wood for his tech than he's used to, or than he would than what would be comfortable. The other advantage to this build is because you're straight harassing, you don't need to build an early Voodoo Lounge, which you do need to build if you're creeping with the Blade Master, since he's going to take damage. And the advantage to that is that you get a faster tech. And his harassment has been so successful, and I really believe Eric wasn't planning on doing the strategy he's going to do at the game's opening, but his harassment was really successful, so what he's done is he's thrown up a War Mill. Obviously, the elf Check doesn't know that, but we as observers do. And for us, automatically we know a War Mill probably means Tower Rush. The only other reason to build a War Mill in the early game like this is if your lumber income has been damaged significantly, and that'll help, in theory, that'll help make up for your damaged lumber. And then just as he's going back to his base to heal, he sends 3 peons out of his base to go the long way around the map. And I mean, you don't need to be a genius to figure out what those peons are doing. Here, however, he makes the first mistake of the game. He sends his Blade Master out to that Wisp instead of running to get the boots, and that's going to cost him. And the Demon Hunter gets level 2. Not a huge deal. I mean, it's not something that's ideal by any means, because he had such a great early game. That to make that mistake kind of sucks, but it's alright because it's a level 1 Blade Master and it's going to come back very quickly. And besides, how many games first elf can you say that you won when you made a mistake like losing your hero to the Demon Hunter very early on? Not too many, at least not in my experience. This is where Check, I'm sure, I mean, he might get some idea of what's going on because he saw the War Mill and he knows that Eric's not tier 2. But you'll see the towers are going up and they're outside of Check's Fog of War. Wanted to check that, you're welcome to, but Check can't see those towers. He heads to the tavern, and this is where you know something's up. He hires a Naga, and you cannot win with the Naga in the late game. He's just not, he just dies. Or she dies too quickly, yeah, see what she dies too quickly, compared to the Torn Chieftain, or even the Shadow Hunter. And Frost Arrows, as useful as they are right away, suck in the late game, and Fork Lightning is not too much better than Chain Lightning, which also sucks. So Check, in running back to his base, sees that the towers are going up, and this is bad news for him, obviously. Demon Hunter and the Quillbeasts are basically the only source of damage, because the Beastmaster is forced to run. You can see this; they do a fair amount of damage to towers just going up, but Eric's able to repair, and he gets that one tower up. The second one follows, and very good timing on his part. The towers both get up. So, anyways, is the game lost for Check yet? Definitely not. The towers are, only in range of the altar. He only has 1 Ancient of Wind up, but he does have his shop safely up. None of his Moon Wells are out of position. They're going to be in danger just yet. But you can looking back, Eric already has a Demolisher on the way, and those are going to be obviously very important, as is the shop that he's building now. The Demolisher is going to allow him to apply pressure to the Moonwells without having to risk the Grunts, because the Grunts are going to take a lot of damage, and probably all going to die to dot Focus Fire into the Blade and to the Demon Hunter. So you'll see he's doing his best to chip away at the Moonwells, not only because it prevents Check from getting the army that he wants, but also because that's Check's main source of healing, that and the Ancient of Wonders, which is going to help him buy potions. One mistake I think Eric's made is he's sort of built himself into a little corner here. I don't know if it was intentional, but you'll see he's got a kind of a choke point created between the trees and the Voodoo Lounge, which is going to make retreating that Demolisher pretty hard to do. And on a few instances, it's almost going to cost him the Demolisher, which is not a huge deal, but anyway. I can't say that I've ever lost a game versus Night Elf when I had 4 towers safely up outside their base. I can't remember the last time I actually lost the game. I mean, you really need to make some pretty big mistakes. And here you go. That's what I was talking about. He has to use the Speed Scroll, and then even then he barely gets it out with 11 health. He saves the Demolisher. So pretty well done on his part. And another one should be coming. Let's see, another one's on its way as we speak. He hasn't built a Bestiary or anything else, because at this point, really, the towers are all you need for damage to the dots and to the heroes. And you can force, the weird thing about the Naga is the cold arrows force whatever comes in range of the towers to stay in range of the towers longer. So that's a nice advantage to that. And then, of course, the Demolisher is just pressure and you can take down the dots.